together, spend some time on it. People ask me, how long does it take? For a very, very first award entry, if you've never done awards before, you're going to announce it in a few days on this. Once you've done 1, 2, 3, 4, then as I said earlier, you've got that information there, and then you're just maybe updating, changing stuff. So the main information, the body of stuff is gathered together. Even if you can save an award entry online, you can't on ours, because I'd have to invest more thousands of pounds in all of that. So at the moment, I'd rather invest it in us having a really good night at the final. Some you can save as you go and then go back to it. With us, you've just got to upload it. So you've got the questions here, and this is also on the website, so you can download it as well. So you can work on it in a Word document. But even if you can save as you go, you know what, things often don't look quite right when you're trying to do it online. And I think, and I again know this from talking to other award organisers as well, is that you can miss stuff out when you do it that way. I think you're much better off to work on it in a Word document, get everything together, and all my lovely award ladies that are writing awards are agreeing with me on this. Get everything together, read it, reread it, and my advice is always to get someone else to look at it for you that doesn't know you, doesn't know your business, so send it to a friend of a friend. And the reason for that is the judges don't know you. And we have a tendency to put jargon, the AMG with the PAV. The judge is like, what is she talking about? I don't know what that is. And because we're so expert in what we do, we can get carried away with all this jargon. So when it arrives at the judges, they're like, Google Translate? I don't know what she's talking about. So getting someone else to read it and getting that feedback. Feedback about, have you communicated your business, first of all, and what you do and what you achieve, but have you communicated your passion? Is that coming across? Is it a bit dry? Is it a bit boring? You know, no one wants a rich tea. They want the chocolate foxes biscuits. They want the single dancing. They want the cookie with the nice cool bits. They don't want a boring nice biscuit. So they want something interesting to read. So we're going to hear from one of our judges shortly. We're going to hear from our head judge. It's just not any judge. This is a Simon Cat. And I think they would agree, the judges that are here, they want something interesting to read and something where you kind of reach the end of it and go, wow, this person clearly knows their stuff, clearly has achieved a lot, and is clearly passionate about what they do, and clearly passionate about their products. Check your word grammar, check your word count and your grammar, and again, we've got a word count of ours, and one year we had this entry came in, and this woman put at the beginning, I know I've gone over word count, but I've got a lot to say. She actually typed that. Well, you know, that's really going to put the judges on the back foot, really, because you're just like saying to them, well, your time isn't that important to me. The reason you have word counts is two things, really. It's so you can benchmark people together, and it's also to be succinct and to get the information across. And the third reason, and the most important one for the judges, is time. So if you get a 500 word count and you do 1,000 words, then you're expecting them to read double the amount of words. And if we've given you a word count, we know you can get the information in that word count. And the other danger people do, well not danger, but the other thing people do is, because it says 500 words, you don't have to do 500 words. You can say what you need to say in 250, that's lovely, do it. Don't then fill it with nonsense airspace that is just repeating what you've already said. And sometimes when you reread it, you think, oh actually, I've already mentioned that in that question, so I don't need to put it in this other question because I've already said it. Or I'll put that in my evidence. Or, you know, so really think about that, because as a judge, isn't it boring, Darren, to read the same thing in 4 questions? It's very good practice. So really think about that entry and the wording and the grammar and how you're putting that story together. And if that is not your strong point, or you're very, very busy, get someone else to do it. You gather together the information, you maybe do a draft of the entry, and then give it to someone else to polish it up. It's worth doing that, honestly, because it will look much better, and you'll have stuff that you can use, as I say, in other areas of your business. Grammar is obviously important as well, and that you use the right words, because we've had "or" in an entry before now, instead of "now," but they haven't checked it. It's like, oh my god, you know. And then if you're going to have to send an entry, and there are still a few awards out there that require a postal entry, then make sure it's presented really nicely. So in a decent presentation folder, where you go and have it bound, and it looks like a business presentation. Do not send an entry form all screwed up in an envelope. We had that happen. She'd been entering an origami competition. She'd have won. She was not. And it just looked terrible when it was unfolded. And you know, it didn't get to the finals. Not because of that, but probably partly because of that. Didn't have the right information either. So really get across your knowledge, your skills, your experience, your passion, and write it in the best possible way. And then, as I said, get someone else to read it, scrutinise it. You will reap the rewards of doing this, believe me. If you write an award entry and no one else sees it, and you're not getting to the finals of awards and you're not winning, there's something wrong with that entry if you've got a good business. Because often it's the entry that's letting you down, not your business. It's what you're not telling people. Because sometimes what you might not think is important is important. And I'll do review services for some of my clients, and I'll say, no, but I know you did that and you did that. Why did you put that in? Oh, I didn't think that was important. Yes, it is important. For our awards, we can't do a review for every entry. What we check is that you've entered your details and you've answered all the questions and you've put some evidence in there. That's all we can do, because we would be sitting there all day trying to give feedback to people. But, I would strongly suggest that you get someone else to read your entry and get them to have a very critical eye over it. Try and do something so it's got a bit of the wow factor in it. Evidence is the big thing. People get very confused about what is evidence and what isn't. So I'll give you another example. Last year, dog grooming company, evidence, a dog grooming table. That is not evidence. One would expect a dog groomer to have a dog grooming table. She hadn't put any customer testimonials in there. No kind of case studies or anything else, apart from a couple of pictures of clipped dogs and a dog tail. So really think about what you can put in to showcase with your evidence, and each award will have different rules and regulations about evidence, so you just have to really know what you're doing and read it very, very carefully. And then really think about what can you include, because like with our awards, you can't upload a video, but you can send a private link to a video, for example, or a link to a video that might be on your website or something. And videos are quite nice for jobs. But again, client testimonials have to be validated testimonials. So there's no point in saying Miss AB from Dunwich said this, because you could write that. What you want to do is, ideally, is take something that somebody said about you online, so it might be Facebook, Google review, LinkedIn, FIFO, Checker Trade, there's loads of online sites. So those are verifiable testimonials, and then take it from there and then put that into your evidence. Or you can just simply say, we have 56 reviews on Facebook, here's a link, go and have a look, and maybe pull one or two off that might be relevant to the things you're talking about. So some questions that you've got in awards, you might want to just add one or two sentences that back up what you're saying in the actual entry. And then you might not need to put them in as an additional evidence. You need to read the rules, because I was doing one the other week and they allowed no uploads, all the evidence had to be built into the entry. I don't know if you've ever done anything like that, and they literally want everything there in the entry. And so what we did was links to all the various reviews and all the various different pieces of evidence, and we included some quotes as well. So really think about how inventive you can be, and make sure that it's got this a bit of a wow factor, that you're going to stand out a bit from everybody else. There's no room for vanilla. Got to be the other one, at least for me. And my 3 things that I would say: facts, figures, no fluff. Make sure you've got those in there, because people tend to sometimes go down the fluffy route of talking about, yes, I work in this office and my cat sits on my knee, and one woman who sent a picture of their cat sitting on their knee. Now, if you're running a cat hotel, that's good, but if you're not, it's not relevant. You know, judges want to read stuff that's relevant. And remember, some of these people are from banking backgrounds, from finance, from law firms, as well as we've got, you know, fluffy judges as well. we've got cat hotels judges this year. But what I'm saying is the judges come from a wide range of backgrounds, so you know they will want to know the facts and figures as well, and a lot of people miss all of that out as well. So think about your facts and figures, what you can get in there, and you know there's a stressful judging panel. It's not us, but you know, it's got a lot to do, lots of entries to look at. You want yours to stand out. So you've done all the hard work, whew, got it off, deadline, had a duty, and then your email. And it says all your letter. It says you're shortlisted. And you've got to make something of this. Because again, I talk to people, you know, that will say to me, oh, I got shortlisted, actually, I didn't do anything with it. I'm like, what? What? Because actually, over the years, our finalists have sometimes had more publicity than our winners. It depends on the story. You'd agree with that. So get it out there, get it into the media, get it online. We send a little badge out, most of us send a badge out. In fact, I had one lady ring me the other week, she said, I've entered your awards, do I get a badge? I said, no. And she said, oh well, why don't you badge? She said, I've entered. I said, oh, that's really sweet of you. Because I want to tell everyone and encourage people to enter. And I said, no, we don't do that, because I always say nobody else knows you've entered but you. So if you don't get through, then, you know, and I've never been asked, the first time in 5 years, I've never been asked for that. She goes, oh yeah, I entered these awards, and I've got this badge, and I put it everywhere, you know, I've entered. I'm personally not going to change that, but some awards might give you a badge to say that you've entered. You might get on radio. I've done quite a bit of radio, I love a bit of radio. TV, so we've had a few of our winners on TV. Victoria Derbyshire Show, Sky News, BBC, Breakfast. Newspapers, they always like a good story, nice little angle. Just saying you're a finalist isn't enough, you need to talk a bit about your story. Even you had a television programme made about Cat Hotel, didn't you? You were like featured on a Channel 4 documentary.
Yeah, following the awards last year, we worked with Guardian, we worked with Facebook, so yeah, absolutely it was a great platform for further press. And again, that sort of independent review of the business helped us to establish what would work for us. So yeah, brilliant.
And Karishma, you've done loads of work through your work with
radio, speaking for NatWest, LBC radio, I did my 3 months into business, just lots of, went to Downing Street, lots of opportunities came from what I do.
And magazines, they also have a good story, you know? Could be local, could be national. But you really need to get your story out there, and again, if you don't know the path to take, get somebody to help you with PR. We know lots of people who do PR. We can give you a list of companies that can help you. And really try and get that story out there and share it. And obviously social media must share it. Now, if you win on the night, oh my God, it's a big celebration. And you know, you really need to maximise that again. So you might think, well, I've already put that out, that I'm a finalist. I don't know if I want to talk about it again. Yes, you need to then show that you're a winner. Because sometimes stuff doesn't get picked up if you're just a finalist, but will get picked up if you're a winner. So you will get press. You've had some really good press, haven't you? Some really, Denise has some great. She won our marketing PR category last year. She's some really good press. You got some good press, didn't you, Julie, when you won Best Recruitment? Caroline, did you get any press?
Yeah,
Good.
newspapers. Yeah.
Anita's always in the press, anyway. She's always winning awards and she's always... Claire, did you get any press last year?
Not specifically, but I would do things differently this time in terms of PR.
Cool. Now, if you don't get shortlisted, always go and check... I should have said this first, actually. You should go and check who was, and then maybe go and get some advice from somebody who does know what they're talking about. Because it could be, if you feel quite angry that you think, I've got a really good business, why didn't I get shortlisted? It's probably something that wasn't there, you missed something out. It could be that the category you went for was particularly competitive, it could be that the awards just weren't right for you, lots of different reasons. Some award companies will give you some feedback. I don't publicise this, but as you're all here, small select group, I'm always happy to talk to people over the phone, but I'm certainly not going to put that on my website because I'd be inundated. But if you've taken the time and trouble to come here today and you've gone away and taken my advice and you've entered and you don't get shortlisted, then phone me because clearly something's wrong with my presentation. You know, but I'm happy to talk through. Or if you've entered awards before and you've not got through and you're sitting here because you want to find out more information and you're just not really sure, you know, just give me a call privately. I'm happy to have a chat with you before you start your entry. If you don't get shortlisted, if you get shortlisted, sorry, but you don't win, you've got to practice your, please, for that winner. Practice that face before you go out. And you know what? But my thing has always been, this year, actually a good example this year, my book was shortlisted for the Business Book Awards, the UK Business Book Awards. So there were 154 people in the long list, and they chose 50 books, of which mine was one. And I went along to the final. Me and my husband, who's floating around here somewhere, had looked at the list of the people I was in the category with, Startup Inspiration, and we predicted who was going to win it, and it wasn't me, and I knew it wouldn't be me, and I was okay with that. And I felt actually quite chuffed to be there, very, very chuffed to be there. And I wasn't actually worried about winning. Would have been nice. But you know what, sometimes you can actually say to yourself, once you see that finalist list, probably not going to win this. And if you do, great, yes. But being selected in any awards as a finalist gives you credibility. I don't care what anybody says, it does. And it will still give you those logos, and it will still give you something to talk about. And as I said earlier, sometimes the finalists get more publicity than the winners if they do something about it. So just play on that as much as possible. And you know, go back to your entry, have another look, see if there's anything you can improve on next year. What I really love about our awards is that we've had people who didn't get shortlisted, came back and re-entered and then did, and 2 of those people went on to win last year. That's great, because they carried on, re-entered, and their business, and as they've re-entered year on, their business has been busy growing, more stuff to talk about, and that's always lovely. You know, they didn't give up. You'll get people literally who will unsubscribe from our list the minute they get told they're not shortlisted. And to me, that's short-sighted, because it's just not your year for whatever reason. And with any awards, it's always worth going back to it and trying again, because you might be surprised next time. You get a pleasant surprise, you get a nice thing. And you know what? Awards evenings are always nice. Good.